Most tourists think they have Italy figured out. They land in Rome, visit the Colosseum, toss a coin in the Trevi Fountain, maybe hop on a train to Florence or Venice and call it a trip. But Italy is a lot more than gelatos, gondolas, and gladiator references. The truth is, if you don't understand the basics, you're missing out on what actually makes this country tick. So today, I'm giving you a crash course, Italy 101, the things most tourists never learn, but actually should. And later, I'll share with you that mistake that I made in the first week here in Italy. It still makes me cringe every time I look at a map. Italy is not one big thing. Over the 20 years I've been living here in Italy, I've been lucky to be able to travel around the entire country, seeing every region, all 20 regions. Italy wasn't even a country until 1861, but each region still maintains its own identity, its own dialect, its own personality, its own, yes, even the food, and its own traditions. So when you're visiting Italy, you're not just visiting one country, but 20 mini nations that happen to share a passport. Think of it as one big Italian family, loud, proud, stubborn, and absolutely convinced that their local plate of pasta is the one that counts.
Randy.
Randy, nice to meet you. You've been watching the videos.
Certainly.
Nice.
Calla.
Calla, nice. Where are you from?
Vancouver, Canada.
Nice. Oh, and for the record, my preferred plates of pasta, well, up in the north in Valtellina, pizzoccheri. It's made with buckwheat, whole grain noodles, lots of cheese and potatoes. Good for a hard winter's day. Down in the south, orecchiette con cima di rapa. Chef's kiss. The north and south, night and day. I always think of this film as called Benvenuto al Nord. It's about this postal worker who is from the south and gets transferred to work up north, I think in Milan. In the north you have the Alps, the lakes, wine country, think Prosecco, Barolo, and cities like Milano and Torino. I refuse to call them Milan and Turin. But in the south, well, you're hit with sun-soaked beaches, ancient ruins, and a slower way of life. And yes, stronger coffee that hits you harder. So if you're visiting only Venice and Florence, you're only getting half the story. Oh, and bonus tip, Sicily feels like its own country. And yeah, it kind of is. Underrated regions. Everyone thinks of Tuscany, maybe Veneto with Venice and Verona, or Rome. Do you know the region? Lazio. But I want you to consider other regions like Le Marche with its beautiful hilltop towns and Adriatic sea views, or Piemonte. Think eating truffles and sipping Barolo in the shadow of the Alps. So venture off the beaten path. The best views in Italy, well, they don't come with a selfie stick. One of the best ways I learned to capture the essence of Italy was driving around 3,000 miles all around the country, all the way from Basilicata, the region down in the arch of Italy's boot, up to the northwest in the smallest region of Italy. Do you know it? Val d'Aosta. Special alert, Airports 101, where to fly to and why it matters. Tourists usually fly into Rome or Malpensa, Milan Malpensa. Rome is called Rome Fiumicino. But Italy has several major airports, not just those two big ones. Venice, Bologna, Florence, Naples. Even on the island of Sicily, there's Catania and Palermo. So consider flying into Naples or the island of Sicily to save yourself hours of hassle if you want to explore the south, which I recommend you do. I love Naples and the islands like Sicily. Drive around there and enjoy cannoli and sit on the beaches like Cefalù. Why trains rule if you're using them right. Italy's train network is amazing. It connects you everywhere all around the boot. But it can be confusing, and unless you know what you're doing, it can be a complete disaster. But tourists often get confused between the high-speed trains, the Frecciarossa or Italo's high-speed trains, the regional trains, and what convalidare, to validate your ticket, even actually means. I've been caught up in that as well, and I've paid my fines, believe me. And then there's which platform you go to and what the train times on the board mean and how they're sorted. Are they sorted by destination or by the train times? It's train times. So use the Train Italia and Italo apps to always be updated. Never forget to validate your regional tickets and book those high-speed tickets in advance to get the best bargain. Forget to convalidare, validate your train ticket. Well, that'll cost you more than breakfast, lunch, and dinner combined. Ask me, I know what I'm talking about. Geography equals culture. Mountains protect regions, coast shape cuisine. But tourists often think Italy is one flavor, one vibe. No, that's not the case. So, remember, Liguria, well, it's famous for its pesto. Don't order a plate of pasta al pesto when you're down in Rome. That'd be a mistake, and if they're serving it, you really want to run away from that restaurant. The Dolomites, well, they're not just one big hill. They're blunt-shaped Alps up in the northeast. Must visit, must hike through them. And it's not Italian food in Sicily, it's Sicilian food. You make that mistake, you call it Italian food, I don't know what's gonna happen to you. Don't make that mistake. I often share information like this and all sorts of insider stuff with my YouTube community and with my patrons. Yes, I have a Patreon now. Over there, if you sign up, you get early bird viewing on my videos, plus all sorts of other goodies. And well, the good feeling of supporting me in this YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Respect the slow. This is Italy. If you want fast service, go to London. But in Italy, lunch might last 2 hours, and that's a good thing. So slow down. Don't fight the rhythm. Live in it. Order that second bottle of wine. You're in no rush, and that's the point. Slight confession, growing pains of sorts. When I first moved here to Italy, Italian girlfriends and such, and having the Sunday lunch with their family, I couldn't comprehend it. Going on for hours and hours, nieces and nephews screaming and hollering, some wry TV program, maybe Valentino Rossi racing MotoGP on the television. We would start at 11 and we'd end at 6 p.m. It blew my mind. I was just always looking for excuses to get out of it. But if you're here and you have the opportunity, why not embrace it and enjoy it? Okay, what was that cringe moment? In my first week of living in Italy, I folded open the map. Maybe I was using Expedia at the time. And I looked, I said, Sicily. I said to my friend, let's go to Sicily for the weekend, fly into Palermo. And my Italian friend looked at me as if I just said, let's walk to Mars. The reality, the boot of Italy is long, and slow trains can make it feel even longer. So my advice from Gregor Brown to you, well, always check the distances, always calculate in possible delays. Well, delays are gonna happen because Google Maps can't save your itinerary if your expectations are broken. You've got the basics. You're smarter than 90% of the tourists who land in Rome, arrive at the train station, panic, and leave thinking, Italy, it was nice, but crowded. However, if you really want to feel this country, the flavors, the hidden spots, the rhythm of it all, there's a road trip I took that will show you the Italy that even locals rave about. I drove 3,729 miles, or thereabouts, across almost all the regions in Italy. Ate the food, hiked the trails, met the farmers, and dodged a few tourist traps along the way to learn what Italy really is. So click here, watch the video. It's part guide, part confessional, packed with all sorts of tips and tricks that only come after driving all the way across a country that's shaped like a boot.